I just made a spacer video, and the problem with that video is that the spacers that I put on don't work. The front of the car was shaking like crazy, you know, at speed. And so what I'd done is I'd taken the spacers off an F80, which my buddy Tony gave me. So he has an F82 M4, and he gave me a set of spacers. And the holes, I think, were significantly too big. That's what I'm guessing. So the hubs are the same size on an F80 and an E92. And so I bought some new spacers, and these are spacers that kind of solve all the problems of spacers in general. So this is from, I think, I might be making this up, but it's called Future Classic. I think these might be made, I think this might be one of IND's brands, I'm not sure, where they have exclusivity on. But this is my type of spacer. So where this is going to be different, outside of hopefully a bit more precision, they've solved all the issues with spacers, and some of them have this, some of them don't. But you've got a little kind of keyhole on the back here in order to pop it loose if you needed to. But the main thing is that these will bolt to the hub. So they send it with extended hub nuts or hub screws. So we're going to be able to, not only is this hub centric, but we're also able to we'll take the OE hub bolts out, we'll put the new hub bolts in, and then we fix the spacer to the hub. So hopefully that would help with any potential vibration, and then, you know, keep it in place so when you're removing the wheel, you don't end up with any issues. So I'd actually taken the spacers off. I'd taken that out of the equation because we were wondering, why is the car shaking? Is it because the tires are out of balance or the wheels are out of balance, or is it that it was a spacer? So the first process of elimination, I took the spacers off the front, no more shake. So this is kind of a goofy exercise because I got new wheels that I'm putting on, but I really want to try these spacers out. So I'm going to put these on 12 millimeter in the front, 10 millimeter on the rear, and we're going to go through the process of, you know, using all of their gear. It comes with some anti-seize for the hub, so we'll put this around the edge of the hub. They send you with a little brush. The spacers, obviously, the proper depth wheel bolts. These don't appear to be any different than any other normal wheel bolts. They don't appear to be any higher or lower quality than ones that you normally get. And then you get the 4 hub bolts. So let me just show you what the box looks like inside of here. And these aren't, you know, so before you get bent out of shape, I didn't take notice of the pricing, but I don't think they're really all that more expensive than a normal set like of Matt Schnell or ECS tuning or something like that. So they come wrapped like so. Here's our 10 millimeter spacer. Again, I'm going to put those in the rear. Little packing material. Comes with a really cool setup here that tells you how to do it with actual instructions that tell you what to do. Talks about being hub centric. Talks about what cars this fits on. Talks about, so there's Porsche instructions, there's BMW instructions with torque specs. So 88 foot-pounds is the torque spec of the lug bolt, which is cool. I tightened mine to about 100, just to over tighten a little. Tells you how to reinstall and everything, so really cool, which I don't think I've ever seen in any kit. So they wrote up instructions that actually make sense. They tell you about why and all of that on this Future Classic diagram. And then of course we have wheel bolts, and then your little kit with our hub bolts, little brush for the anti-seize, and then some copper anti-seize paste. So that's what it looks like in the box. And there's kind of cool branding as well, I think. So let's put these on. So I followed some advice. This is why I love this, doing this, sharing this. I learned so much stuff. One, people said blow in it, which I never thought of doing. And then 2, I got these are called Diamond Grip. There's a little bit of grippiness to these gloves, but these are Diamond Grip an extra large in size. Matches my nice pasty white skin. We'll try these out. Of course, I bought 1,000 of them, so I'm stuck with them for a while. Let's take the fronts off. Wow, these do have more tactile feel. What am I doing? I need this. I broke my plastic thing, so I need to get a new one. I guess technically if it's Sonic, it's probably warranted. So I think I can just take a picture and send it to them and they send me a new one. I don't know if I'm excluded from that because I'm a Sonic dealer. So this time working on the car, I actually cleaned it first. I did the Eventury intake. If you haven't watched that video and you want to see me fumble, check that video out. Shoot, these gloves are super, super grippy. I think I almost need a large. Yeah, these gloves are very different than the other crappy ones where I didn't like wearing gloves because I feel like I couldn't get a good grip. So I tried doing P&S Brake Buster and cleaning the wheels, and you notice there's some rust. There's a rust inhibitor in the product, but I still think it makes sense to use that plus the Hyde serum, which should be here any day, that I have coming. Okay, so we take that off. Now I've got to take these hub bolts off. I think it's 5mm. Yeah, it's 5. So I guess my rotor won't, because the caliper will hold the rotor in place. Again, this is kind of pointless because I'm going to be putting new wheels on, but I really want to see. And I'll be switching to the OE wheels occasionally when I'm feeling that style. It's part of the reason why I bought brand new OE wheels. Who needs a rolling table when you got a lift that you can just put stuff on? It's just like these guys thought of the things that you don't normally think about, that you don't think about when you're doing spacers. Like, I mean, who has a brush like this laying around? Not many. Okay, so let me line this up with our holes. That's not it. There we go. That's the ticket. So I'm assuming these are the same size. Yep. Yeah, I probably should because I'm going to be having to take them off. So these are extended. I'll show you the length difference here in a second. I know that these aren't like securing this to the hub like ironclad, but certainly can't hurt. So because of the spacer distance, we've got a much longer screw to go in and secure the rotor to the hub. Put a little bit of anti-seize on these. This is how a spacer's done for sure. I like that a lot. I'll be sure to report back if we have any shaking. You could also put anti-seize on the back of the back of this as well. I probably won't have to worry about it because I have the Brembo. The Brembos here, which are a little bit nicer. Yeah, that's really nice. Obviously, we need longer wheel bolts because we have a 12mm extended hub here. On depth to our hub. I think I like the the weighted BMW center caps. They've kind of grown on me. I might get them for the M5 too. And then I'll finally probably end up with, I don't know, I might stick with wheel bolts, because if I want to be swapping wheels and, you know, using spacers and not, I think I'm going to stick with wheel bolts instead of putting studs in to this car. I got a set of pretty cool looking, what do you call them? What do you call the nuts? Lug nuts. So I got some pretty cool lug nuts for the M5 that if I like them, I might put them on here. We'll see. Project Kicks. Never thought I'd be so amped about a spacer. They've always just been a commodity to me, but I don't know, these are just speaking to me. To the rear. So I hadn't noticed any shaking in the rear, but I'm going to do the right thing here. Put the right spacer on. So these are 10 millimeters, but what I think may have contributed is this kind of shaking. I don't know. Just don't know. Here's the difference. Sophistication. So these are, so yeah, this one is 6. The other one was a 5. Wrong way. Wrong way, buddy. I hope these, are these gonna fit? Yeah. I guess it's just a bigger head. Yeah. Let's see. Man, these gloves are so grippy, I keep getting them caught on stuff. Oh, anti-seize on the hub. Trying to make sure I don't end up with this on my elbow and my ears and my all over. Let's do the screws too. Let's figure out how our holes line up. Okay. Oh, these are back to the other size. I really dig this idea of locking a spacer in. There's that. So then I'm good to go. Yeah. Yeah, that's clean, man. I really like that. Well done on these spacers. Well done. So I need to get the right wheel bolts. So these are going to be 2 millimeters shorter than the 12 millimeters in the front. These gloves are so darn grippy, man. It's crazy. All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to do the other side off camera, and then we'll lower the car down and show you what it looks like. But these wheel spacers were so different and interesting enough that I felt compelled to grab the camera and make a quick video for you, because they're different than any. I've had lots of wheel spacers in my day, and these were different. Of course, these wheel guides are from Schwaben, from ECS Tuning. Helped keep me from jacking up both my wheel and my caliper and rotor. I think these are a must if you have carbon ceramics. So I got to get a set for the M5.
All 3 of you are matching.
That's how we do it. And my mom and dad are matching. You're the only one that's not.
Odd one out.
Are you and Kyle matching? Okay. Pretty slick. I like that. Too bad I'm gonna have to take these off in a few days. All right, so there we go. Here's what our flushness looks like. We could go a little bit more aggressive. I prefer them to look like so. So I got 12 millimeters in the front, 10 in the rear. We got a nice no rub stance. So you can kind of see what we're dealing with here. And with the stock wheels, these are 275s in the rear, 255s in the front. So up 20 millimeters from, I guess, 10 millimeters from stock. So yeah, I mean, we got a nice flat, flush fit. I don't like the top of the tire to be flush. I like the middle of the tire to be flush. And I've got negative 1.4 degrees of camber. And got a couple of nibs here left over. What's up with that? So anyway, these Future Classic spacers this is the best spacers I've ever used. Just a little subtle little details. I talked to my buddies at IND. It's their photographer. Future Classic is his brand. So kudos to him for coming up with a really cool design and setup, and just a really precision quality piece of machinery that really makes the mounting of the wheel more, I guess it's a better experience. So anyway, just thought I'd share with you the install. Even though I've done a bunch of spacer stuff here recently, these were different enough that I felt like grabbing the camera and sharing it made a lot of sense. So short video, but thanks for watching this one. More M3 stuff coming here shortly. I'm going to be doing some drive-by stuff with the new intake and the completed dyno exhaust. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy.